Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 5 with some more multiplayer races. Now for this session, we're doing something a little bit different. While we are racing some B-Class cars, just whatever you fancied really, in B-Class, we are racing them on point-to-point events. I haven't really done very much of these on the game. So, should be interesting. I mean, your builds are going to be different. We're likely to see a lot more powerful cars. I say that, and I've got vintage race tyres on my Corvette here, and we're just shy of 400 horsepower. I'm actually going to be one of the slower ones in a straight line, and I'm probably one of the less powerful vehicles. There are going to be quite a few running a lot more horsepower than me, but, you know, we're going to see how it goes. Me and Coffee have had... Oh, no, wait. My brain is not working. There's a Challenger, Corvette, and Chevelle, all 70s. I saw all the C's and thought someone got the same car as me, but never mind, I take it back. There's a fair few muscle cars. Almost an interesting choice. I actually thought about running. I have an RS4 in B class. I was contemplating using. Renault 5 Turbo could be very quick. Those things are little rocket ships. Yeah, we don't really know. Certainly I don't. I think a few of us don't really know too much about how this is going to work. But we shall see. I am definitely not as powerful as that Chevelle by a long shot. But I will outturn it. So my hope is the vintage race tyres on this will mean I outturn quite a few cars. And while being a, classic American car, we still have a good chunk of power. It should still be quite fast for the straights. We don't know. I don't know whether it's going to be quite the right balance or not. The Renault 5 is very much out of straight line speed. Oi! Chevelle has come soaring past. Renault is going to have a dive. But I mean, this is the thing. So for cars like me, we have got to absolutely make the most of our handling when we can. I'm stuck behind the two absolute monster cars. We are about to get stuck. Yeah, well... Oh, yeah, so we've got powerful cars, unfortunately, causing grief for us. I have a feeling that the Z4 is not... This is a technical point-to-point race. More technical than a lot of them. So the power cars are definitely not going to be working here. I literally, as we say... Jesus, that is way more technical than I expected. My apologies on that one. Yeah, so I don't know this track in the slightest. As is very evident, the Sylvia is going to draw back alongside, but I doubt he's going to be able to make that one work fully. Alright, can we sort this out? I mean, I feel like we've got an alright car. We've just not had a very good start to this. We got stuck in a lot of traffic early on, and then we're overdriving, frantically trying to catch up. Can we catch our Fury? It is... I'm not actually... I can't remember who made the livery, but someone spent an awful lot of time making a livery to look like my real-life Plymouth Fury. Admittedly, mine is not that generation. Mine's a 65, but it's very cool. Oh, it's always fun to see that in the game, and that is what we're going to try to work on catching. This time we get slowed down for the corner. Everything behind there did not. The really powerful cars are having a difficult time. It looks like... Oh, there's another hairpin coming up ahead, so we're going to have to be ready for that. Don't know where on earth we need to start braking. About there is kind of good. The Mercedes has lost a little bit of time. I think, unfortunately, we've been catching, but I think we're going to run out of opportunities to overtake because we just lack that little bit of top speed. Although we've had a good run through there, it's not going to be enough. We're going to sit in 7th. I think we had a better car than 7th there. Possibly. I'm hoping we do anyway, otherwise it's going to be a boring session for me. We just got stuck. We got stuck in the power cars traffic, and then we were trying to make up time afterwards, and it wasn't going to be quite enough for us. The Tornado takes a victory from the Renault 5. It is the Commodore that rounds out the podium, and I think it was the RS4 that was behind that. A hectic first race. I think that is the best way to describe that. We head to the Riviera Sprint circuits. Don't know much about this one, but there we go. it is definitely a faster track than our previous one. I suspect we might have some trouble here, but we can try our best, essentially. Don't feel like really learn all that much from the first one. I don't feel like we learnt a huge amount. So, yeah. We will see. We will see what might happen going into this. Maybe our car will come good here. We know ultimately we're not going to be the very fastest thing in a straight line, of course. There are things way faster than us. I'm hoping we might be able to use our speed a little bit. We might be faster than the likes of the RS4 in a straight line, maybe faster than the Renault 5. We know... Ooh, just come out of ghost mode there. Sorry. I forgot that we were coming out of a ghost mode bit. And once again, we run into issues. I cannot catch a break with this. So far, it has been a case of any time where it's looked like we might have had some pace, we get bumped and all momentum is gone, and then we have this just mountain to climb back. Admittedly, we didn't have a great spot on the grid to start with, so it was always going to be a bit of a mountain. But yeah, we'll try our best. We can be fast through there. Can we? We can use some slipstream down here, although don't know how fast this corner is. Definitely don't want to be on the outside. We're going to go 3 wide now. We're going 3 wide heading up towards a narrow section. This will be a who dares break the latest contest. The Civic did not get it stopped in time though. We will make the pass stick. The Fury was having a look, but couldn't quite make that work. I mean, we just did not know where to stop at that point. So it's quite a lot of guesswork going on for us. Now it is another flat-out run through the gears, although we've got a twisty section coming up towards the end, which is going to be interesting. It's going to kind of scupper those really powerful cars that have kind of briefly got positions, and then they're about to come undone, I should think, by this section. So we are catching the Renault 5 down that straight. Yeah, had we had a better spot for the start, who knows what we could have done, because we are very middle of the road. We've got power compared to some of the cars, and we've got grip compared to some of them. We are a strange middle ground. Longbow has got the lead of the race with that RS4. Whether they're going to be able to hold on to the lead in the closing stages, that's too fast through there. That has cost me a lot. Is that going to cost me a 5th place? The Civic with a much better run. It has got past us briefly, although there's a lot of wiggling to go until the finish line. That's not really what I needed. If anything, I wanted a nice long straight to the finish line, because I think top end we do beat the Civic. But the wiggling stuff, that is more the Honda's territory. We will crisscross our way here. Can we make this stick? Don't want to have to lift. But, well, we didn't actually lift, but it didn't matter. We found some street furniture. We are to the inside for this final corner. Don't know how much we need to brake for it. About that much. That was actually spot on for us. The Civic's trying to cut back underneath. It's going to be a drag race to the line, and the Civic's going to get us. We just couldn't quite get it off the corner well enough. It was a good battle. It was a good battle with the Honda. I think we were a little bit more respectable on that circuit. It definitely seemed to suit the Corvette a little bit better around there. It was the RS4 that took victory ahead of the Chevelle, and Sylvia get on the podium. The Renault just lacking the top speed in the end. Well, there we go. It was better for me. Still not really quite good enough. We are off to our next circuit, Sierra Verde Sprint, I think it was called. It looks a little bit more wiggly. It's a little bit more wiggly. I mean, there's a long run to the finish line that could help me, could hinder me. I don't know, depends. With terrible spot on the grid, which isn't great news for us. I'll do the best. Again, it's very much just going to be a case of do the best I can and take it from there. We might be able to claw our way forward. I doubt we're going to be winning at the moment. It doesn't look like we quite have the pace, ultimately, for the winning. But maybe we'll find somewhere that kind of just works for the Corvette. I don't know. We will give it a good try here, nevertheless. If we can make up time through the corners compared to some of the ludicrous power cars, and then make up some time to the handling cars down the straights, there's a chance we can find a happy medium where it works. We've just got to not get stuck in... We've got to not get stuck in traffic, I think, is the real hindrance for us. Because, yeah, we can't just blast past stuff down a straight. That was so close. That was unbelievably close to missing a checkpoint. I was about a millimetre in. If I'd missed that, if the game hadn't given me that, that would have probably been a fair cop. So, that was quite a lot of luck. We are flat through here, as will the Audi, as will the Renault B. It is the Chevelle that is leading the way. However, this route does get quite twisty towards the end, so I'll be curious to see whether it can hold on there. Because we're catching the Renault now, that we haven't seen so far today. Hello, Gliska. Don't mind me, I've got a Corvette. Let's come to have a look. It's only going to be a brief look, I suspect, because we're about to come into some corners. Oh, and I'm going to try and not murder you. That was not as fast a recorder as I expected it to be. Yeah, so the Chevelle has enjoyed the fast section of the track. We are now getting into the twisty section of the track, and I've been terrible through there. Car is capable of way more than that. That was just poor driving by me. Yeah, we are now coming in towards this much, much twistier part of the circuit. Now, traction-wise, should be fairly good in the Corvette. We should be able to get off these turns nicely. It's mid-corner speed is where we're going to struggle, of course, against the likes of the Renault. Of course, the Audi is all-wheel drive. That will have no problem at all getting off the corner. We can draw alongside a slidey Silvia. There is still some twisty stuff to come up ahead that we can maybe make the most of to pass the Silvia. We do. Don't mind the dog having zoomies in the office. Thank you, Apollo, for your opinion on the matter. I'm afraid your opinion is not that good when it comes to cars. Yeah, we're up to 6th. Unfortunately, I say unfortunately, we might be able to get close enough if there's anything struggling with straight lines. Actually, no, it's not a big enough run to the finish line. It looks like it's a longer run on the map. It's really not going to be a big enough run for us to do all that much. We have a little tap on the brakes through there. The Tornado did hit the wall, but it won't be anywhere close enough for us. And it'll be another 6th place. I mean, we're consistently mid-pack, is the best way to sum it up. Not helped by very poor grid spots. I mean, it is kind of close between everybody as well. Well, we're only 5-6 seconds off the leader, which isn't too shabby. But yeah, consistently mid-pack continues. We are off to the Reservoir? I don't know the name of the circuit. It's a better spot on the grid for us. It looks like it's fast to start with and then gets very wiggly towards the end. I mean, it might work for us, I suspect. We might be able to get a podium here if we can get off the line nicely and stay out of trouble. And there's a chance, like for example, the RS4 and the Renault 5 are going to be a long way back. They're gonna not like this initial, essentially drag race. So we might be able to pull a gap on those, and they're going to be catching rapidly by the end of the race. But of course, if we pull a gap on them, the real power monsters are going to pull a gap on us. So it works both ways. It works both ways. Maybe the balance for us will work nicely here. The Commodore doesn't look like it's got great speed. The Challenger has aero on it, which probably isn't helping its top end. I mean, the aero was good for handling, but of course, not so good for the old drag. The RS4 is quicker than us in a straight line. That's concerning. That's definitely troubling, to say the least. No idea how much I need to brake through here whatsoever. It was not quite that much. Yeah, we could have been a lot braver. This looks like a short... Well, I'd say it looks like a shorter run. I mean, it is flat out a lot to start with, and then is going to all of a sudden get twisty. Whether we're going to have enough time to catch the Chevelle is the real question. Whether we're going to have enough grip to do anything about it is another one. We know, and this is the issue we get is the Silvia, for example, here is now massively struggling. I think the answer is, will we have enough time to catch the Chevelle? Yes, considering we've basically caught it into corners, but the Toronado has taken over the lead of the race, and that we might struggle to catch. That, I think, is better handling than a lot of the power cars. Oh, we give the Chevelle a bump, we then get a bump from the Civic. However, the thing we've got to really watch out for is the Renault coming back. That is the big concern almost for us. We will have some handling through here. Civic's going to have a go. I mean, I was trying desperately to set up a pass on the Chevelle, but I wasn't allowed to. The Commodore is fighting back through the field as well, so we're going to have to be a little bit wary here. Unfortunately, if this opens up anymore, it helps us keep away from the Commodore, but lets the Chevelle get away. I see, annoyingly, I feel like this might be one of the tracks where we have the best shot at a podium with the Corvette. However, we are quickly running out of road and running out of time to do too much here, and indeed that is going to be the case. We've got a couple of corners to go, but they will be flat out for us. Oh, the Chevelle had a wobble. It's going to be a drag race. The Chevelle straightened up in time. Chevelle holds on to the podium just. Yeah, that was definitely a better combination circuit for us, pretty much. And a better spot on the grid helped. Couldn't match the top two. They were just too quick. Admittedly, we did get stuck fighting. The Renault, through that terrible start, climbed all the way to 6th by the end of it, which is quite impressive going, considering how far Gliska was back by the time we got to the twisty stuff. So there you go. I mean, it was an interesting race. I think it was the best chance we had in terms of track and car combination, but you couldn't match the Toronado or the Audi. We head to the Vulcan Sprint. Now, this is very different to the previous circuits. This is a lot of handling. So, the real power machines are going to struggle here. Unfortunately for me, I'm not going to match the Renault 5. I don't know about the Toronado. I don't know how we're going to compare to that. It is generally pretty bloody good, so I think that it was probably going to be the better of the two of us. The Commodore might be quite quick here. We know that's got some pretty good grip. Well, considering the Toronado's just gone straight on at turn 1, I'm going to say controller malfunctions have happened, and I did somehow get that checkpoint. I have no idea how I got that checkpoint, but we did. So that was quite useful. The Silvia is going to come blaring past. I mean, being on a hill, the Silvia will have some acceleration benefits, so to speak. We are not on a line we wanted to be on. We had a good run mid-corner. There was some space, but not really enough. We do get past. Now, what are we going to be able to do against these cars up ahead? That is the question. I mean, we're looking for a way past. We can maybe get past the Merc. We're on the outside through here, which is unfortunate because we're now going to be on the outside of a 3 wide, then the inside for the next corner of a 3 wide, which might actually work in the Corvette's favour. Unfortunately for us, a chance of a podium is looking tough again. We're going to have to chase down the Civic. Now, the Civic's not the best handling. That Civic is more power than anything, so there might be a chance that we could do this, and we could get the Corvette on a podium. I think the top two are kind of gone a little bit. I imagine Gliska is getting frustrated with an Audi that'll be all acceleration in comparison to the all handling of the Renault 5. We are just stuck at the moment watching. We need lots of corners. Well, we need lots of corners to catch the Civic. The problem is we get lots of corners. We maybe get caught by the Commodore or the Challenger. I think they are better handling cars than I am. Yeah, we're tantalizingly close to the Civic. And I want to drive the wheels off my car to try and catch, but of course, if I make a mistake, we're going to lose a lot of time here. So, and I don't know this, don't know these circuits, don't know these routes very well. I know this road perhaps better than some of the other sprints that we've done, having driven up the mountain more, but I don't know where we can take speed through some of these corners, and I'm never sure quite what we can get away with in the car, in terms of the car. Can we? I'm trying to push my luck a little bit there. The Renault's taken the lead away from that Audi, but there are some, well, there's wiggly bits coming up, and then there's a straight. I don't know what way it's going to go there. I think as far as chase of the Civic goes, we're going to be stuck in this kind of watching brief. We're close, and we've had a good run through there. We have closed in a little bit. Is it going to be enough to have a look anywhere? I don't know. I could do with the Civic making a little error. That's what we need if we're going to get this on the podium. It ran a little wide through there, but it's not going to be enough for us to capitalise while we are quick through this final corner. Oh, it's close again. It's close again. We still can't get the Corvette on a podium. It's going to be another 4th place. It's one of those very typical, it's fast but not quite fast enough cars. We head to the dunes for our next race. By the look of it, this will be a much faster circuit with not, maybe 1, 2 tightish corners. It's not to say you're not going to need some grip here. You know, you are still going to need some grip for these higher speed corners. But yeah, there's not really the low speed twisty sections to deal with on this circuit. So I suspect we are going to see ourselves in a familiar 4th, 5th place, something like that, because you know we're probably going to have the measure of like the Commodore, for an example. I think we'll have enough speed so that we should be fine, but then we won't have the speed of the Silvia and the Tornado and that stuff like that. So it's, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all pans out. Oh, and we have run in there way too deep, as a bunch of us did. I thought that corner was going to be flat for us, and it was categorically not. So yay, that's fun. Oh, little bit of lag from the Commodore is a bit scary. Where is that going to be? I am not sure. I'm going to have a little bit of lift. We're not going to quite be flat through there. We will be mindful around that. Oh god, don't know where the Commodore is. It's quite laggy. I am going to visit some scenery, and then we've got to get stopped down here. A few cars did not. Oh, the Challenger had a lot of trouble getting off that corner. There was a lot of smoke and not a lot of visibility for me to be dealing with in that. That was one of the more technical corners, pretty much, that we had to deal with. We're not going to be able to look for a way past there. I don't know whether we are going to be able to do much. If we can get back, problem is, if we lose, I think one of our biggest problem with this car is we've not bad top speed, but when we lose momentum, we really struggle. So we've kind of got to keep the momentum going, and it's when we have one of these sort of iffy sections and we just lose that all-important bit of momentum, that's when we're really, really struggling. When we're catching the Renault, of course, the Renault's just run out of speed, as is to be expected up this hill. However, the Renault's going to have all of the grip in the world to come almost immediately back past, I should think, as we run wide a bit, quite a lot actually, through there. What's leading? The Silvia is leading at the moment. We've got the next tight corner coming up. I think this is the last real technical section for us to be dealing with. You can see, of course the Renault is going to be far superior. I'm hoping we're going to be pretty much flat out till the end of this one. That would be good for us. And if it is, it'll potentially... Oh, no, there's some more technical stuff coming up for us to have to deal with that I don't really want to have to deal with. I don't know if we're going to be able to find a way past the Renault. Well, either we... No, I don't think so. Maybe I could have been quicker through there, actually. Yeah, I should have been. I shouldn't have lifted. Problem is, I just didn't know. I didn't know quite how tight that corner was going to be. We may still be able to... No, I can't pull the car out of the way in time. It is going to be a 6th place for us. The Corvette is quick, but it is just not quite fast enough from what we have seen so far, which is a little bit of a shame. The Silvia takes victory. The RS4 is second ahead of the Civic. Yeah, not quite. Yeah, just not quite quick enough. We head on to our final race with the considerably mediocre Corvette. And as far as sprints go, this one looks like it's going to be... I mean, it's got a bit of everything. We've got a couple of tighter, twistier sections in the middle. Then we've got a bit faster section towards the end of the race, a bit faster. So we've got fast start, twisty middle, and then fast end. It's going to be maybe a 4th is going to be possible. Sorry, a 3rd is going to be possible. A 4th is definitely possible. We're good at that one, apparently. But yeah, I don't know. We know that the Chevelle and the Silvia are going to come soaring past. We know that much. We know we will catch the Renault, and it's going to be a case of do we have enough grip to stay ahead? We'll get a decent bit ahead of it. Oh, yeah, through here, though, we've got to be really careful. I don't think this first section is going to be quite as quick as I was hoping it was going to be. Because it's not going to be long until we're in that twisty part, which is going to be more difficult to deal with. The Silvia's having a look, and it's going to be all over the grass and all over the curve. Problem is we catch the Renault just as we start getting into a twisty part, although I think we are clear now, which is helpful for us. Don't know where we need to break up here. It'll probably be quite early compared to the Renault, but then much later than the likes of the Silvia. Now this is where things get very, very technical, and we could potentially pass the Silvia at some point through here. Longbow might stand a good chance of getting the Chevelle as well here. We've got to be very patient and careful through this. Oh, and the Renault is going to... Well, the Renault's just so much quicker than we are through the corners. Like, that's always going to happen, pretty much. But then it's always going to struggle once we get going again for the top speed. No, don't do that line. That line's a bad idea. We've got a lot of cars very close together, and the problem is now we're all starting to slow each other down. There's a Renault in the way of my top speed. We're in the way of a handling Oldsmobile. The Renault is to the lead of the race. Through all of this, but then it's all straight line. Well, not all straight line speed finish, of course, because we've still got some twisty stuff. It's 4 wide. It's 5 wide almost at one point as the Chevelle comes past. The Chevelle and the Silvia get together because I don't think they realised they were either side of the pack. I wanted to get across to the inside. Silvia's missed the checkpoint and gone. I wanted to duck across to the inside, but unfortunately I got my nose caught on the Oldsmobile, and I think we are going to lose out. Chevelle is completely stuck in the traffic. That's actually really good news for me, because now we're getting into the twistier stuff, where the Chevelle won't be able to carry its speed as well. Although I say that, it gave me a helpful bump along the way. Come on, Corvette. Stay on the road. The Chevelle might nick the podium from us. I think it's going to. Yeah. Doesn't matter, I could move across on it, it wouldn't matter. The Chevelle doesn't quite take the victory, I don't think. The Oldsmobile is going to get it. We continue our run of 4 places. That was actually a really good race. That was a really, really good race. That was an enjoyable sprint race. It did go the way... Oh no, it did go the way of the Chevelle, just. Bloody hell. Such a mid-pack car. I think it is the age-old kind of jack of all trades, master of none. Sort of a vehicle that I know technically the saying's slightly different, but you know, or the meaning of the saying is we have it generally shortened. But yeah, the car is good, but it's not fast enough to be a speed car. It's not grippy enough to be a handling car, and the problem is at any of these tracks it gets beaten by one or the other. It gets beaten by a speed car, or it gets beaten by a handling car. I was hoping it was going to be a happy medium of enough speed and some good handling, but it was... I mean, it was still good. It was still a strong car. It just wasn't quite good enough, basically. It was a perennial Hülkenberg just outside the podium and all that. But there we go. That is going to be it for this video. If you would like to take part in the next one of these, you can sign up via our Discord. There'll be a link to it in the description. Find the Versus community section and you can register to take part in there. That, though, shall be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.